Alright, so today's going to mark the start of something a bit different. For now, working with the title of just going against the narrative. And what this is going to be is it's going to be a series where I sort of like talk about narratives within the world of esports and like why they're wrong, or why they're wrong in my opinion at the very least, and just sort of showing a bit of evidence for that, a bit, and just stuff in general. So we're going to start off with PSG Talon's first official game, is one that counted against RNG. We're not going to break it down or anything. That's just going to be the background stuff that you can see on top of Leaguepedia. So we'll talk quickly about what I've seen. So the narrative we're going to be talking about and what we've seen is that this PSG Talon team underperformed by people's expectations. Okay. They underperformed at this MSI so far. Uh, I mean, so when I did my prediction video, I said that this would be the closest group by far. You've got RNG who would dominate, and then you have three teams that looked pretty weak. And what did I say? PSG Talent looked pretty weak. Wow. So I didn't watch any of the regular season for PCS, which I think is pretty understandable. But I did watch the playoffs. I didn't watch this Deep Cross game, which was a 3-0. But I did watch these three games, and they didn't deserve to win any of these three games. They were by far and away the weakest out of these three teams across the course of these three games. And so, what does that really mean? Or like, what did that mean I had as their expectations coming into this tournament? My expectations were that because they were PCS, and I still firmly hold PCS as the fifth strongest region currently, I had them as being they'd make the without ignoring groups, they'd make the Rumble stage um, without too much issue, but there were some groups that could give them challenge. And what were these groups that could give them challenge? Well, they were ones that involved Turkey, Brazil, and Japan specifically. Any of the pool one teams didn't really matter because they weren't going to challenge with them. But anyone with Turkey, Brazil, or Japan, it would cause a slight upset. And what did they have? They have a group that had Brazil and Turkey. Um, in my opinion, Brazil is the second strongest out of the pool four teams. In my opinion, Japan's the strongest. And Turkey is the strongest out of the pool three teams. So, and I think pool four is like, if you take Brazil and Japan, I think that's stronger than LLA and LCL. But, that's just my opinion. But so I thought those three teams could give them a challenge. They did, quite evidently. PSG went 1-1 against the Canids and went 0-2 against RNG. They did beat Wisdom Wildcats 2-0, but see, you can see they haven't underperformed. And what was the issue with their team particularly? Well, Hanabi is not the god he used to be. Juhan and Bay are replacing key players, and they're not as good as them. Maple's left. Sorry, this is part of the point. River is way better than Juhan, and Maple's better than Bay. I had to remember the names. I'm sorry. Plus, Doggo's gone. Doggo is amazing, but Doggo went a while ago, right? Or am I delusional? I don't know. But Unified and Kaiwing were like the two key players in their run, and honestly, they looked good for PCS, but PCS was playing like the LCS, but a slight bit worse. Um, they've qualified for the Rumble stage now. And so what sort of expectations can we have for them in the Rumble stage? I think they'll be competing with either Saigon Buffalo or DFM for last place. I think it can be maybe EG. I mean, EG haven't looked great at this tournament. If we're just talking about expectations and coming into the tournament, though, I'd say they would be competing with Saigon or DFM for the last place. I think it's going to be pretty clear that there's going to be a T1 RNG. Like then there's like a big gap, G2 gap, and then if we take original expectations, T1 RNG gap, G2 EG gap, and then the other two teams. I think looking at it now, it looks more like T1 RNG gap, G2 gap, EG, then maybe another gap, maybe not. The DFM Saigon Buffalo PSG Talon. I haven't actually been able to watch much Group 1A, so I can't give like a full accurate prediction because of A levels and school. The games taking place during school. But we'll see. I'm quite looking forward to seeing how MSI turns out.